hit the odd block and then we set up shop. We don't fuck with Northern, me at 10, I don't do 12 o'clock. 11 years old, I had a pistol.
Good morning, y'all. I hope everyone is enjoying their Wednesday so far. Just want to drop this video from an interview on No Jumper. Shout out No Jumper. But I took a few of your clips at them. But Marvin and Melvin explains some stuff about Charleston White and exposing him a few things. Check it out.
Then this dude is really a psych patient. And if you look at everything that happened to him, he knocked his own eye out. He said he had a pencil and he stuck his eye and fractured his eye, and then he went to a circus running at some clowns and had to have 8 surgeries on his eyes. So he's a failure in trying to even navigate himself through life.
Wow.
So,
bunch of interviews.
But they nothing.
It, right?
That's about it.
This
But that's sound bites and lights, because these blacks, they ain't worried about saving no life. All they want is sound bites. They look at it like a hustle. But he wasn't trying to be nothing. And then after he got robbed, then his attitude changed and he felt, I'm gonna call it envy, where he feel that he need to be in a place. Because when you really look at it, what has he done? Nothing.
Bunch of interviews.
But they nothing.
Right?
That's about it. But that's
day.
sound bites and lights, because these blacks, they ain't worried about saving no life. All they want is sound bites. They look at it like a hustle.
That he couldn't do. He never been to prison either. He was in a facility with girls and he acted like a girl. He got pressured and he went into a facility, went into what they call it sensitive needs now, but it's PC. He went to protective custody and stayed in protective custody for 9 months until he went and testified went to court at 17 and testified against his crime partner.
I know this is fucking up the timeline, but let me just throw this question in here. If a man gets into a confrontation with another group of men in a public place and he chooses to mace the other people, is that acceptable, or is that some hoe ass shit?
I mean, if
because
a man
he did that to Soulja Boy, for the record.
I mean, that's what they allegedly. Ain't nobody got maced. They said it was an error. Ain't nobody put it in it. He can't even shoot straight if he did it.
Right. But if you knew that somebody tried to rob me yesterday and I pulled out the mace and smashed them, like is that respectable, or is that some weird ass shit?
That's cool shit.
If you come and try to jack me, I'm gonna shoot you. I ain't gonna have no mace.
That would be the question: is why you have your hand on the mace?
Okay, you got to understand. This is a man that talks about weapons,
right,
and has all these guns, and he never shot nobody.
Right.
So talking about it is one thing. Completing the act is something else. So he's talked about all of these things, and just like and that's the formulation of a retarded mindset. That he's from little old town in Texas, and he's a 60 Crip. He comes to big old California to meet Melvin Farmer,
right?
8 Trey Crip, gangster Crip, and he didn't know that the 60s and the Crips were warring for 20 years.
The most famous gang rivalry.
Mindset that he's from little old town in Texas. And he's a 60 Crip. He comes to big old California to meet Melvin Farmer,
right?
8 Trey Crip, gangster Crip. And he didn't know that the 60s and the Crips were warring for 20 years.
The most famous gang rivalry, realistically, in the history of gang
He didn't read that in Monster Cody's book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that didn't come in the pages. So he went they say he came down to St. Andrews Park looking for where a skull.
He walked right up to me and he called me OG, and I say, don't call me OG, bro.
Who in the hell is this dude? And he said he from 60. He said he either got to be the police or the biggest fool. Melvin said, well, he from Texas.
Right.
So he came and infiltrated, and he was always so mad about the way he got situated and the things that's happening in his wife. Like Melvin said, he's tried to sell a weed, then he tried to sell crack, and he got robbed. He started pimping. And he had this white girl that had 2 trick babies, and a real pimp took her, and she left the 2 babies. So all the tests he need to get a DNA test on them kids.
She left the babies with him?
Yeah, and that was behind the dudes that took him. They had rented a yacht in Marina del Rey. When Charleston White, they the ones that were fronting Charleston the money. When Charleston got robbed and tied up and lost that, he told me this. And he say, man, I say, did that hurt you? Was it a big loss? He say, man, it hurt me with them dudes. And the same dude went back and took Charleston White and everything else and left Charleston with the kids. The same dude who he was getting it from. Yes, sir.
What the fuck? Let me ask you this. I'm sure you've had a million.
Thank you all for watching. But let me say this. It seems like Charleston White is actually committing a crime to get these guys to commit a crime. So, I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I understand them putting money on his head. Yeah, they shouldn't do that. But he also shouldn't entice them or entrap them. Now, please like, share, and subscribe. And thank y'all again.